everybody. Welcome to our first episode of All Walks of Life, Humbled. I'm Richard. I go by a lot of names. People call me Zacarias. People call me Zach. Um, it's just whatever.
I know you as Zach. I go by Trip, Tim, Timmy, whatever you want to call me. Doesn't matter to me.
Now, a little bit about the our channel. Uh, we're from different walks of life. I chose this military path, and my partner here chose the civilian path. And our channel is pretty much just to bring people from all walks of life, rich, poor, um, just people from the city, people from the country, just people just to uh, explain their struggle and what they've been through in their life, good and bad, and how people overcome things, and pretty much
Yeah.
how we're going to let people tell their story of where they come from. Tim, you want to?
That's right. All walks of life. Literally, it's your ups, your downs, your highs, your lows. What worked for you, what didn't work for you in life. Pretty much anybody. I mean, anybody that's wanting to sit in and talk and have a conversation, we're more than welcome. It's just showing that everybody has some point in life that we can all connect to. And it's to help people better themselves as we go amongst learning.
Yeah, and it's about being humbled. People, a lot of people get humbled for different reasons.
Different reasons.
Right.
Correct. Different reasons, different times in their life to where they thought they was, everybody thought they was the shit. Wasn't nothing gonna happen to them.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, bam, life hits you in the face and you don't know what the hell you're doing. No more. I mean, it happens. It happens to everybody. Rich, poor, medium class, everybody. And this is what this podcast is about, is what point in life did it take you to realize that you wasn't what you thought you were?
Right.
And we're also here to help give out a little advice to where when life does hit you, knocks you to your knees, to try to help you build yourself back up.
Right. You want to tell a little bit about yourself, Trip?
A little bit about myself. Let's see. I was born over here in Meridian, Mississippi. I've lived in Georgia, Louisiana, different parts of my life, all over. There was maybe one time in my life that I went to the same school twice in a row, like 2 years consecutively. But other than that, I mean, I stayed moving and all that. Now that I'm older, I got married and I got a wife and little fur baby dog, whatever you want to call it, and we pretty much just stay where we're at. And I've been pretty keen to not travel, not go anywhere. I pretty much like staying home. I mean, I moved around so much in my life to where I don't want to move and go and do all this stuff anymore.
Right.
Met Zach. Yeah, I was probably still in high school. I think, I was definitely in high school, and we started playing Call of Duty together, and we've stayed friends ever since. And we've talked about doing a podcast before, and finally it come up to where we said, screw it, we're gonna give it a shot. So here we are.
Right.
And know you got a hell of a story to tell.
Oh man, I've been through hell.
I know you got a hell of a story to tell.
Yeah.
Better than I do. My story is not that interesting.
Well, a little bit about me. Majority of the people who know me, if you're from my childhood, they call me Junior. You know, if you're from my military, experience, people call me Zach. So, like Trip said, I met Trip through video gaming. I was active duty, and whatever downtime we had, I wasn't really uh, trying to be out because I was a broke soldier. So coming from the bottom, you got to start from the bottom. You got to make nothing. So best thing I could do to entertain myself as a soldier was play video games, and I got to meet Trip, and we got to playing, and he's been there through my deployments. I'd be gone for a year. We were part of this Call of Duty clan. You remember that, the 777 clan? We had
Hell yeah.
Alabama Mike and Prodigy and
Sir.
uh,
Yeah, several different people.
yeah, we were actually
That
we
was
were
back when
actually
Call of
pretty
Duty
good.
was.
Yeah, we were actually pretty good. We were
Hell
we were undefeated for a long time, and then there was just those moments of pause because I got deployed to Iraq, or I got deployed somewhere else, or this or that, or training, or
real life hit us all.
yeah. But we always,
No.
we came around, and we still held on with video games for a while, and then people fall off on and off, and like you said, life happens. But
Yeah, yeah. But we all maintained somehow to keep in touch with each other, whether it was through video games, through text message, through Facebook or something. We all still talked to each other and kept that contact. Check up on each other, even if it was once a year. Hey, happy birthday, bro. You know,
right. Yeah, see,
stuff
but
like that. And
being a man is easy, dude. You know what I mean? You can pick up where you left off with your bros. You know what I mean? I see
oh hell,
a lot of females, they can't do that. It's like once you guys stop talking, it's like
yeah,
men, we don't got to
it's
talk
like
every day. You know what I mean? We don't got to play every day.
no,
When you're down and you need your
hell,
boy, you hit your boy when you're down. That's it's sad to say, that's when you hear the most from your people. You know what I mean? It's like when they're down, it's like, bro, this is not what I want to hear from you, dog. Like, I hate seeing my homies down. I deal with my own shit. And then trying
oh
to
yeah,
trying to sit there and listen to your bro. You want to see winning. Down on his luck, down on his knees. Going through whatever it is. And
oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm
And you
lucky.
try to relate.
Yeah, I'm
You
I'm
try to
lucky that
relate to them. And
yeah. Go ahead.
go ahead. No,
No,
you go ahead.
no, there's a little delay. Go ahead.
uh, you try to relate to them in a sense to where you try to find something in your life that relates, and when you try to do that, you know, some people take it. I'm not going to gender it, but some people take it as, oh, you don't know what I've been through or anything, but you're trying to relate to that person, and you're trying to figure out the best way to help them cope with what they're going through, and it doesn't always work. But as men, most of us sit back and be like, you know what, bro? You right. You're right. This worked for you. This might could work for me.
Yeah, but a lot
Different
of us are hard
scenario.
headed.
Yeah, yeah. You're right,
and
100%.
and
We're
you
definitely
wait
hard
you wait
headed.
till you're stuck in that situation where you can't no more. You're like, damn, I should have listened to that fool.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you, like my mama always told me, I argue with the devil himself, even though I could be wrong and he'd be right.
Right,
But I'd do it. And then turn around later on in life and be like, son of a bitch, I should have listened to that guy.
right.
I wouldn't be where I was. Yep, it happens. Everybody gets knocked down to five, no matter how big, tall, small, any fat you are, whatever happens. Everybody gets knocked down.
Yeah,
And what really matters is who's there for you in the end. Just like that. I mean, I could be down on my luck. I ain't never met him face to face. We talked over the phone, over computer, over Xbox, and all that shit my whole life. But I know if I needed him, I could call him and talk to him.
Right.
I mean, no matter what it is, I'd be like, bro, I went whaling underneath a bridge. He'll know what it means. Y'all may not, but
Right.
he'll listen to me and understand.
Yeah, and and then we all go through, ups and downs. It's about, being resilient. I mean, you need to be able to bounce back. Uh,
Right.
and I've used gaming pretty much to keep in contact with a lot of my friends. My PTSD doesn't really let me, go out in public and be around a lot of people. My life has changed dramatically since my military service. I did 11 years, and then I was let go during the Obama administration and medically retired. Yeah, I might get a little paycheck, but I'm struggling too, just like, you know, a lot of other people
Just like
barely making it by. You know, difference between me and some other people is they're capable of going out there and getting a job, if they want to, or if they're trying to advance themselves. I got a TBI injury. I got a brain injury from getting blown up in Iraq a few times. They call it white brain spots on the brain. It's white matter that doesn't come back. So your brain never rejuvenates, and those brain cells are pretty much dead. So like my vocabulary has changed. I've slurred. You if even during this podcast, you might hear me um, forget what I'm saying, or my I'll say a word messed up or whatever it is.
yeah. And if you hear me do that, that's just because I'm a redneck and I'm not that well educated. Throw that out there. I mean, it is what it is.
Right. So, a little more about myself, so you can get to know me, as viewers, because this is pretty much going to be the only episode we're really going to talk a lot about our lives. Myself and Trip. Um, we're gonna more focus on the our guests that we bring on to the show. This is just pretty much like a test run, and we really don't really see too many people really gonna watch this episode. Maybe later on we get a little viewers, and thank you for watching. You guys will come down and learn a little more about us. So if it gets a little sad or whatever, don't feel sad for us, because we're in a good place emotionally, spiritually, and I would say physically, but that's a lie. My body might look good, but my body is, it hurts when I wake up, roll over. I don't sleep very well, so this.
I can't sneeze without bruising a rib or something.
Right. So if you're watching this right now, bear with us, because this is just test run. Wrinkling out the kinks.
This is pretty much us just giving our perspective of our lives. This podcast is not about us. It's about what other people have been through and done. Yeah, we sporadically will give out information that about ourselves, our lives, that'll give you a little bit more insight of what we've been through, what we've dealt with. But it's our main focus is not us. It's about what everyday normal people, even high dollar people that make a lot of money, all the way down to homeless people, down to mid class people, but what works, what they do to get by, and what helps them. That's our main objective here, and to try to figure out that information to give it out to everybody else.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do. So, I mean, I don't think there's any way to go other than that. Then let me ask you. Our title is humble. Uh, at what point in life, there, Zacharias, Zach, do you think that you were humble? What at what point in life do you think life slapped you in the face and said, "Nah, I ain't the man I thought I was"?
Shoot, that's an easy one, bro. And anybody who's ever been overseas can tell you. You know, anybody who's been to a third world country, and I ain't talking about you're going on vacation, you're going to Europe or this and that. They're not third world country. I'm talking about people in poverty, people in you know, you go to Mexico, bro, and it's beautiful there. They got big cities, but if you go deeper into Mexico, you know, there's pueblos, there's little uh, mud hut homes. You know, people barely living, but there's some of the happiest people though, because you know they got their neighbors. They all right for example in Iraq, man, they are very hospitable. Okay, like they'll invite you in and give you cream cheese and bread and tea and sit there and you conversate, you'll talk, you know it's all about community, you know. And you know, when I was over there in little, you know, what I call pueblos, little towns, you know, little nowheres, they literally take a lamb, you know, from the stock from out in the field, dude, and kill it, make a big old feast of it, and the whole neighborhood comes down and everybody eats. You know, we don't do that here in the United States. You know what I mean? If you could be coming right out of McDonald's, dude, and just got fat, bro. What was it? You know, there's people that do you know, little neighborhood things and this and that, but we're not like, you know, back in like the 1950s, for you know, in America was, you know, housewives, the
Yeah,
husband was working, you know, everybody had families, kids were out front playing, you know, crime wasn't really a thing. Now it's just everybody's worried about their own hustle, who's gonna get over on who. Like, you know, money is
right,
the
right.
root of all evil, man. And you know, I'm very humbled because the little bit that the government gives me, you know, for my disabilities, dude, you know, I'm I got a brain injury. I don't really function the way I used to function. My body physically doesn't allow me to function the way I used to function. You know, I used to be a hell of a fighter, dude. I used to be, you know, a good boxer. I used to be a good combatives. I done taekwondo. I done all kinds of stuff. And you know, I don't think I can't compete like that. I can defend myself, and you know, you don't forget those types of things, but it would literally take every inch of effort in of me to survive that fight. You know, I couldn't do it like I did on the daily train. You know, I'm gonna get into a fight every day. Can't do that no more.
Yeah,
But you know, being overseas,
yeah.
man, and seeing how those people live, dude, it's different. Just like just being in different scenarios. I've seen them take a kid, and the kid was put on a dog collar and chained to a tree, and it's 110 degrees outside, and nobody, you know, the cops, nobody's gonna say nothing to that dad because that was the way that he was disciplining that child. You know what I mean? We have so many different perspectives of lives and laws and stuff that we have here, you know, to protect the people. That over there it's like, oh, well, that's his dad. You know, he's gonna do whatever he wants to do. You know, here, you know,
Right.
I've been on the street and you know I've see starving kids and you know starving people, starving Americans, bro, and that shit hurts my heart. Yeah, they're starving because you know they went down some dark path, or you know everybody has a dark path. I deal with my path. My path is, you know, I come from, you know, poor upbringing, dude. You know what I mean? Like we shared everything. I got, you know, my brothers and sisters, dude, and you know I
Hand me downs all the way
yeah.
through. Hell, you
Right.
was sitting there
My mom
scraping the
tried
pot
though.
to eat.
You know what I mean? You know, Mexican lady. You know, she
Oh
tried her
yeah.
best. Single mom. You know, I love my
Oh
dad,
yeah.
dude. You
Hundred
know,
percent.
may him rest in peace. But he really didn't, you know, contribute to help my mom raise us. You know, but he did, you know, come around and scoop me and my sisters up or whatever. Um,
Yeah. See, my dad never did much of nothing either, except fight my mama the whole time. Pretty
right.
much. I mean, my dad used the kids, me and my brother, as legal pawns as to we could only move 4 hours away or whatever, and that way he didn't have to travel but 2 hours to pick us up. My mama would have to drop us off every other weekend and all that stuff. And I mean, it was part of my life growing up. So I mean I get that part of where you're coming from. Hell, I 100% positive. I remember, growing up, I wanted a pair of Etsy's. I don't know if you know what those are.
Nah, I don't.
Pair of skateboarding shoes.
Oh, okay.
I wanted some yeah, I wanted some Etsy's real bad. I used to be big into skateboarding and all that. And I remember my mama saying, if I buy you those shoes, it's gonna make me go bankrupt. My mama bought me them shoes. I'm, my mama went bankrupt. But my mama always did what she could, make sure me and my brother had what we wanted and what we needed. Yeah, we might have ate hamburger helper 3 times out the week or whatever just because it was cheap.
Yeah,
But
shit. We
she
ate
did
beans
her
and rice,
best to
food.
make sure. I mean,
Dude, my mom was creative, man. My mom, dude, to this day, I love that shit. Man, I need to make some. I'm probably gonna make some soon. But she used to take the beans and she would call them enfrijoladas. You know what an enchilada is, right?
yeah, I know what an enchilada is.
So what she would do is all she did was dip the tortilla, bro, in the beans and then roll it like an enchilada and put cheese on top of that joker and threw it in the oven.
Hey, bro, we was so broke on my daddy's side too. I say my daddy was broke. My daddy wasn't ever broke. He just was very good at hiding his money. My daddy's stepmama, she would she would take a piece of bread, she sprayed some of that spray butter on there, and then she throw some cinnamon stuff on the top and put that joker in the oven on broil, and that was breakfast.
Shit,
That's what you had for breakfast.
that sounds good.
It was good. It was good when we was growing up, but now we look at it, it's like, man, that's like the cheapest thing we could have ever done.
Right. Hey, but when
Real
you're a kid,
cocaine.
when you're a kid growing up, dude, you
Like,
know what I'm saying? You don't know. It wasn't until like I said, until you're a
it
grown up.
wasn't until I started making my own money.
Right. Not until you start doing your own shopping.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't until then that I realized, oh crap, Coca Cola, Sam's Cola. Sam's Cola's cheaper. We're going with this. I mean, it was part of life, and then a lot of the times at my daddy's, growing up, if you killed it or if you caught it fishing, you was eating it. That was what it was. I
Right.
mean, there was no if, ands, or but. Hey, if you begged to keep that fish, you wanted to keep, you gonna eat it, and that it didn't matter what it was. They clean it up, and you gonna eat that joker, whether you liked it or not.
Yeah. See, and that's that country living, boy. Because I'm from the city, fool. We didn't do
Yeah.
all that. We had
hmm
had a little
I,
different.
I remember my brother. He, they caught a couple brim. We was fishing. He begged to keep these brim, and my daddy said, "Okay, well that's what we eating for supper." So we went home. We scaled them, cut the heads off. Of course, you leave the bone and brim because they're not really big enough to fillet. And my brother went to go eat them. He didn't like them. That son gun threw up all over the table, and my daddy coming around there snatched him up by the ears, beat him black and blue. I'm talking about. I want to say that time was 19 licks my daddy gave him
Damn.
with a paddle. My brother counted them. Yeah, brother counted them out loud, crying, and it made his butt sit back down and finish that meal because he caught it, he killed it, he was gonna eat it. That's how we was brought up. That's just part of it. And now, guess what? My brother really don't eat fried fish.
I'm not a big
I
fan of
mean,
fish. I'm gonna save eating fish for like the zombie apocalypse or something. That's them
Oh,
nasty.
I love eating fish.
Bruh, like, come on, dude. How many people don't jump in the water, done pee in it, everything's shitting all over it? Man,
Well,
man, man.
look,
All
yeah,
these,
look,
you guys eating all these
fish
damn
pee.
bottom feeders? Nah, 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 nah. Like people love
Okay,
tilapia.
look,
If you
I got
like, do you know what they using
no,
in them California
no,
damn tilapia farms? Poo, poo from the
no.
sewer. They
I'm
just
not.
throw it in there, and that thing just.
But in the same sense, think about how they grow vegetables. They use
I grow my own
manure to
vegetables.
fertilize. You use manure to fertilize.
Yeah, but the vegetables never touch the manure.
You
You
come from that little seed in the ground that comes up. I mean, it's the
it's not
same
the
thing.
fruit. The fruit does not never touch the fertilizer. It's not never touching the poo because when it comes out a little green stem. That stem keeps growing, right? It keeps growing, keeps growing. Look, you see this tree?
But it all comes from that little bitty seed, about yay big, that's got the poop on it, and it still comes out. It still got to push through the fertilizer.
Okay, so yeah, but look at a stem. Hold on, let me grab one of my tomato plants.
I'm just saying, it's the same to me personally. Now,
All right. So I grabbed my
big on the
I
bottom.
grabbed my
I'm not
sunflowers.
bottom
I
feeder.
grabbed my sunflower plant instead. So maybe this top one first came out. Not even this stem did. This stem came out the seed, right?
Your stem is all the way up there at the top.
Right.
That part
But they
come
doesn't
through
it
the
doesn't
shit.
start growing leaves or anything till the top. So the leaves and all that never touch the poo. So if it never touched the poo.
Okay.
And then when they
I
so
was
what
gonna
I'm
say
saying
the
is
big.
now when the tomato starts to flower and it starts to come out, flowers start to get off my sunflower dog. The tomatoes will start to come out from a flower and form your tomato.
Ah,
It never
that's a
touched the
waste of.
poo. The vegetables. Now if you're
I
talking
get
about now if you're talking about um onions,
let's
potatoes, you talking about uh stuff that grows in the ground, then yeah, I can hear you on that. But anything that comes out on a stalk or a stem, nah.
see that there's a reason they got them what they call them Pentecostals that don't believe in eating bottom anything with a anything that doesn't have a scale on it. They won't eat like a catfish or um, shit, not catfish. Like they won't eat any bottom feeding fish. They'll eat anything with a scale because they claim that it doesn't eat it. It won't eat its own kind, or it won't eat other fish.
Right. It's not a bottom feeder.
But that's what they say. But hell, I've caught a brim on a damn chicken liver before. So catfish eat chicken liver. I mean, goes
Catfish
hand
eat
in hand.
anything. I remember when I was stationed in Kansas, I used to take my son down fishing. We used to go down to the lake in Manhattan and or to the river, whatever that was. And dude, we just sit out there, catch little fish, and then use the little fish, cut them off, and use them as bait, and catch the bigger catfish.
Hell yeah. I mean, you can do that with redfish. You can do that with drum. You can do that with all kind of good speckled trout. You catch a white trout, cut it up in little pieces, throw it out there, and catch speckled trout. They're delicious. Always so good. But either way, let's try to get a little bit back on topic here. Um, so your military experiences going through it, that's pretty much what made you look at life and say, I'm not what I thought I was. I'm not as big as I thought I was.
Right. I'm a little person in this little world, man. It's a much bigger picture out there. Just like
Right.
all these rich people, they're rich for some reason. You know what I mean? They're a producer of something. They invested their money some way. Uh,
Right. They're not walking around with $500 J's or whatever
Right.
sneakers on. They're walking around with
New Balance. And,
maybe $50 New Balances on or something. Correct.
right, but
Right.
you got to think about these. Uh, you know, the way we live, man. People today, we're just consumers. Everything's overseas. Everybody's just materialistic. We're consumers. Like I try to be as much self-sustainable as possible. If I had a bigger yard, dude, I would have cattle. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about maybe getting goats just for meat. So.
Goat meat.
Oh
Oh
yeah, dude,
my.
Chivo, dude, we make that shit is good, bruh.
It's 2025. You can afford a damn cow.
Yeah,
Down here,
that's not the
I tell you
problem.
what,
The problem is the space. Yeah, you only need like a 10 by 10 pen, but I live in a little township in the middle of nowhere, and my township, we're like only like maybe like 20, 30 houses, but they want the the farm animals outside the township. So I can't have a
shit,
cow in my backyard, or else I
around
would.
here you can go buy shit straight to the butcher, and you might spend 35, 4,000 to get it processed and all that. A whole cow, shit, you can
Right.
feed your whole
Well,
family
you
for
can
a
buy a
while. Get
calf.
all the ground meat,
You can buy
all
a
that.
baby calf for like $800 to $1,000, and then what you
We
do is
pay.
you just raise it for 8 months, and then you send it to the butcher. The butcher here in town charges about $800.
I see what you want to buy. You want to buy your young heifer, raise it up to about a year, year and a half till it gets good breeding size, then sell it. You want to get a calf of it, then sell it. Sell that calf, keep that heifer breeding, then you got revolving money as long as you're not sitting there overfeeding and everything else.
Right.
You can make money off of it. Either way, let's see. See what I got here. Let's throw something crazy out there. If you had a superpower, what superpower would you want, bro?
Man, come back to me. Go ahead. You answer that.
Superpower. I think I'd want to be invisible. I think I'd want invisibility. Just so I could hear the flies on the wall, talk shit about me. That's really what I would want it for. Just to hear what people say about me.
Right.
That way I could come back and be like, well, here's the time I helped you. Here's the time I've done this for you. Here's the time I did this, but yet you're over here talking shit about me. That would be my thing. I would just want to know.
Man.
And plus, I could easily go to all you could eat buffets and smash without anybody knowing. Walk in, get a plate, carry that some bitch outside, not have to pay for it.
They're just gonna see a floating plate.
Yeah, just floating plate, and they can call Ghostbusters or some shit. I don't know. It sounds like their problem then.
Right. Um. Let's see. I would. I don't know what my superpower would be, dude. I always say different stuff. You know, I always come up for another reason of the moment of my life. But the only thing I can
Yeah.
think of right now is I wish I could be not immortal, but like that nothing could happen to me. I could still die, but like I'm gonna die at like 100. You know what I mean? But I just like I'm bulletproof. Like my insides are still gonna go out. But I'm like
So basically immortal, but you have a
not
death
immortal.
clock.
Not immortal. I have a lifespan. I don't want to live outlive my kids,
Yeah, you
my
have a death.
grandkids. I got 7 kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no parent should ever see one of their children die. 100%. I agree with that. Should never happen.
Right.
I can see where you're coming from. Um, All right then. Well, what is something in your life you want to do before you die?
Uh, Shit. Well, I'm actually working on it right now, dude. I want to help. I want to help other veterans. I'm working with some of my uh, brothers from the vet center. They're veterans who go there for therapy. So every Friday I have a therapy group with a bunch of guys who've been in similar situations as myself, and um, you know I tried to take my life a couple of times when I got out of the military. I'm not proud of that, but it changed my eyes.
Yeah.
Seeing how many people cared for me and all this other stuff. But I
Yeah.
was in a dark spot when they kicked me out of the military, dude, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't understand my PTSD. I didn't know that there was anything wrong with me. I didn't know why I was so aggressive, why I was so, kill mode. I've definitely changed and relaxed now, but um, it's a journey. I'm on a path of recovery, dude. You know what I mean? Trying to be a better man.
All right. All right. Well, I'm gonna be a little selfish here. Something I want to do before I die. I want to kill a damn elk. I want that sun gun mounted right up above my chair, right there, when people walk in. Something I want to do before I die. But if we're talking about humble wise and helping people, I would like to help people that are struggling in life to find a job, to be able to get the qualifications that they need to be able to hold and sustain a job to work. People that want to. I don't want people that want to come out there for a month or 2 months and collect a little two paychecks or whatever and then back on unemployed. No, I don't want that. I want to be able to help them. Like, you legit want to do this? Are you sure? And then help them progress and go amongst getting the need and the tools they need to be able to handle and do that job.
Right.
Because that one thing that drives me more than anything is your experience. Well, to somebody coming fresh out of high school, blue collar guy, somebody like me that didn't do the military or didn't go to college, like, okay, you need experience. Okay, how do I get that experience without somebody taking the shot to hire me to teach me,
Right.
to give me that experience? And that right there drives me. What experience do you have? Yeah, it's cool to have a guy that's 16, 15, 10 years, whatever, you know, that's got the experience. But you can't have these young guys get this experience if nobody will hire them and nobody will teach them. And that right there is one of my biggest pet peeves. Even coming to driving, I drove for uh, Budweiser for ever since I turned 21. I got my CDL. I drove for Budweiser all the way up till last year when I caught a DUI and I couldn't drive anymore. And that goes back around to where I got humbled
So were
because I
you
had a
so were you
CDL and
drinking
I
the
thought,
Budweiser beer? You drinking Budweiser since you work for
what's that?
Budweiser? You get a
Oh,
discount.
hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah, I did. But I stayed loaded with beer more than what I should have. And I was drinking more than I should have. And I caught my DUI, and that's what humbled me, was realizing that I didn't have that avenue, that option to say, I got a CDL, I can go wherever. But at
Yeah,
points in
having
time
a
in
CDL
life,
is
I was
a high
looking at,
demand for sure.
yeah, correct. And I was looking at, maybe venturing out, going to make this 120, $130,000 a year. And everybody I talked to was like, well, what's your experience? And all I could say was, I drove a box truck, 53-foot box truck. And they was like, you don't have any flatbed experience. You don't have any We drive time over country or none of that. I'm like, no, I ain't driving 53-foot trailer. And they was like, well, you don't have any flatbed experience. Talk to me again. And it's like, well, how am I gonna get this flatbed experience if nobody takes me in and teach me? And that drove me. That always aggravated me. Like I can't get that experience if you don't teach me, or if somebody doesn't take the chance to bring me in and say, hey, all right, this is what we're doing. This is how you do it. This is what we expect of you. There's no way for you to do it unless you buy your own truck and you go into business. Then you got to learn on your own. But then you still need the money. You still need the, you know, everything else. So my goal would be to open up some kind of business or some kind of help program to help these people. Like, oh, you want to learn how to drive 18 wheelers? Here we go. We'll teach you. You want to learn how to weld? Okay, well, I got these guys that can teach you how to weld.
See, and
You want to learn
I think
how?
that's something that you can do now, and even we can even do that from this channel, bro. If that's something that you seriously want to do to help people, then the thing is to just share resources. You don't have to open up anything to teach somebody anything, bro. Because there's literally like
There is
people out
there
there that
is
are just
resources.
like you, dog, that want to do the same thing, fool, and help other people. So what do? They start nonprofits, just like my nonprofit. You know what I'm saying? My nonprofit is gonna help people. Yeah, we might be searching out for these, high risk soldiers that are coming back from deployments and overseas and PTSD and all this other stuff, right? And we're trying to search them out. But along our search, for example, we help people. So we go to homeless. We went in December, and we also went in January. So we went in December to a homeless encampment to search for people who, even if we find one or two people, dude, they're like, hey man, we want to get out of this situation. Okay, well, we don't do that, but we know people, we have partners, we have connections, we know there's always somebody that does something along that line to help somebody. So like when you seriously want to have, for example, a homeless person wants to come off the street, like we told them, we didn't get anybody this time. We're praying and hoping that somebody wants to get off the street so that we can be like, okay, dude, like here's the little pamphlet. These are the people that we can get you a room tonight, and these are the people who are going to take over from us and help you, you know, to get you your license, to get you, that job, to get you this, to get you that, to get you birth certificate, to get you back into civilization and get you functional again. So we can literally sit here, bro, and yeah, we might shoot the shit and talk shit, but I have connections, you have connections. It's all about sharing knowledge. The problem is that a lot of people don't know about the resources out there. So even if we got a comment or two on the, hey, I'm trying to do this, is I'm in this state, then maybe we can start doing the research for them and figure out, okay, well, they don't got the money to go to school, they don't got the scholarships. Maybe there's something, just for example, like if you were ever employed and you wanted to go back to school and you got fired, right? The state will pay for you to get your certificates because you got fired from your job. But a lot of people don't know about that. First thing they do is just they go to unemployment, they file for unemployment, and they don't even care about the other options. They're like, I just need a paycheck until to hold me over until I can find another job. They're so focused on finding another job and not trying to find a career. You want to find something that you wake up and you're like, dude, I'm fucking going to work, bro. I'm excited to be at work. You know what I mean? And a lot of people forget about that because, like I said, we become materialistic. You go to Mexico on vacation, they don't open up the stores until 10 or 11 o'clock because they're not trying to go open at 7 6 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? They're trying to their their business is just side quest. It's a little, yeah, it's bringing in money, whatever, but they don't want it to consume them because then you forget what living life is about. You're not making memories, you're not making time for your family, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. You're you're always at work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Look
see
at
that
look at
that's
you.
another thing I look at.
Look at you, bro. You're a prime example. I haven't got to play Call of Duty with you in a week because you've up and leave for your job. You're gone for a week at a time before you come back home, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you do that for a little bit. There's people that do that for 20, 30 years or till they retire, and then they start to get to spend their family time. But I think that sucks that you
Yeah. I
spend
mean,
all your time working and you don't get to spend that time living.
yeah, it's true. But you see down here, and that might come down to a different cultural wise, different various of life down here. If you don't spend your life working, if you don't spend that time doing it, you're not. Let's say, per se, you're not a man. You're not like that. That is what it is down here. Like a man spend his life working. And then if you're lucky, a man gets to retire at like 65, 70 years old. And then by that time, if you're lucky, you get another 5, 10 years of living. But by that time, you can't do anything. I mean, take for instance, my boss. His name was Norman Guidry. We called him Pigeon. He retired at retirement age. He didn't even make it a year. They turned around and figured out he had brain cancer. So he worked his whole life to turn around and retire, and made it 1 year, and he was dead. So he worked his whole life to earn all this money, to save up, to take care of his wife and all this.
And for what?
And
And what does he have to show for it?
and nothing. He's in the ground. He has nothing to show for it. He's dead.
Right. And
He
that's and
dead.
see, it didn't used to be like that back in the day though. People, like I said, people used to
No.
take care of people. People used, look at the look at like Native
Well,
Americans. How did it
companies.
function before they were colonized, before America was colonized? Look at how other countries
Companies
live,
used to
bro.
take.
You know?
Yeah, I know. I know. Companies used to take care of people, but now you hear stories of people that go work for Coca Cola or any of them that'll put in 40, 50 years, and they'll get right there to retirement age, and then the company will. That way they don't get retired. So now this person's done work for you 40, 50 years, and you're not going to give them retirement. You lay them off because you'd rather lay them off than pay them. That doesn't make sense.
Right. That's
That
that's
that's
the that's
dirt.
the crooked world that we live in, bro. And that's why people need to open their eyes and realize, stop being so materialistic, because you know until you're a people of numbers, bro. Like, look at Kellogg's. Look at how many people are protesting the food that we're eating in America. They don't serve our shit in other countries. When I was in Korea, dog, I didn't. There was some stuff over there, but not really too much. You know what I mean? You just eat the Korean stuff. It was better. They had Korean Kit Kat, Korean Snickers.
Yeah.
their own version of it, and it was, dude, the best McDonald's I've ever had in my life was in Korea, in Busan.
Mm-hmm. And
That
say
shit was delicious.
I've watched that. I not to plug him, but that best ever food review show guy. I can't think of his name, but I watch him on YouTube. And you watch him compare the USA, McDonald's, Burger Kings, and all that to overseas.
Yeah,
Their food is 10 times looks better. Just looks better.
dude, I had
Toward him,
this.
tastes way better.
I got this shit called the Mega Mac.
Looks better.
It was called the Mega Mac. It was two Big Macs in one, bro.
Hell yeah.
It was
That's what I'm
delicious.
talking. That's what I'm talking about.
But like I
But
said, man, it comes down to, like, again, you know, people people just get accustomed. We get accustomed to something, and America, sad to say, is we've become accustomed to, if you want to survive, you have to work. But look at, like I said, back in the 1950s, dude, how did people survive off of one income? You know what I
everything was
mean? It
cheaper
was
then.
one man working, dude. One man, and he bought a house, a car. He had his kids. He took them out. Your neighborhood block parties. Kids grew up together. It's different now, dude. People are rude, entitled. and
Right.
we just
Right.
gotta get back to the old ways, man. That's why I said, I'm trying to teach my kids a little different. I want to be self sustainable. Once this frost is over, dude, all my plants I got right here are going into my greenhouse, dude, and you know I I grow my
See,
own weed
and
because in my state, I'm in Nevada. It's legal, and so I grow my own weed instead of buying from the dispensary. I actually live in the middle of nowhere, so I'm allowed to grow. So I grow my little plants and keep it
right.
going.
See, down here in the South, you really can't do that. They'll come raid you down, field your house. They'll take everything you got.
Yeah, well, I
But
didn't
in the
really used to
South,
smoke, man. It's all this.
South is more of a Bible Belt.
Yeah,
Everybody does. Everybody. I mean, we still got closet Baptists over here that act like they don't drink beer, but will get done with church, go home and crack the cold one and drink it in their damn closet. I mean, that's just part of. And everybody knows who you are and what you do and all that. That's just part of life down here. Everybody accepts it. I mean,
yeah.
that's how we grew up. Old Jim Bob down here, he's a preacher. He He's the best thing that ever come through, but you go through and look at Jim Bob's past. Hell, he beat the hell out of his wife when he was younger, and all this shit, and got put in prison, and he done changed his life, and everybody's like, "Oh no, he's the best thing." It's like, okay, so you're condemning me for drinking cold beer on Saturday or
See,
Sunday, but
and nobody
yet
should be
he's over
condemning
here
nobody.
beating
You
the
know what
hell
I mean?
out of his wife.
That's
Yeah,
every only
yeah,
person
no,
who should be judging you is God, player. You know what I mean?
exactly,
That's why
exactly.
I don't
That's why
care.
I
I
don't
don't give
judge.
two shits what anybody thinks about me. Real talk. I really don't.
I don't.
I
I
know that
really
I
don't.
do right. I
I
don't try to do nobody wrong. And if I did you wrong, you probably deserved it. If I ghosted you or just stopped, cut you off or whatever, it
correct.
it wasn't because
Yeah,
no reason, you know.
yeah. No, if
Because a
I
lot of
quit
people
talking to
just
you or
do
I
things
don't
that
hang
just
out with
affect
you,
people, their own life. They don't really care for other people's lives. You know what I mean? They're just like, all right, well, this is a little
right,
quick little chat. They'll smile to your face and this and that. And like I said, dude,
right.
I talk shit to my friends' face, and I talk good behind their back.
Oh hell
You know what I mean? I'll
yeah,
call
hell
you every
yeah,
name in the book.
100%.
You know what I mean? But
And then turn
I don't
around
mean
like,
it
oh that motherfucker right there, he worked. That motherfucker right there, he good. I talk shit about him, but nah, I take him on my team.
any day.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I agree, 100%. And we'll save it for another day, but like how men like especially down here, like how me and you were talking, and all, men down here really don't. It's frowned upon to talk about how they feel or about what they're going through or any of that. Now that could be a whole different day, whole different podcast, whole different episode. But down here, it's frowned upon. Like you don't do that. Hey, you could be the biggest baddest mother trucker running around, but you're not supposed to talk about your feelings.
Right.
You're not supposed to talk about how you feeling. Like you could be the damn Stone Cold Steve Austin of the wild out here, and if you even come across anything you're feeling, people's gonna be like, "Nah, you a bitch." Like,
Right.
so you mean to tell me this man can't feel a certain way because
Dude, and I tell you that shit's all wrong because I did therapy, dude, ever since I got it out of the military because I didn't understand it. You got to think about it. As a man, my path as a man, 18 years old going into the military, and then I'm there. I learned their way. They brainwash you and tell you, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. If you want it to be right, this is the right way. This is the right way. This is the right way. This is the only way. So you learn their way, and then you learn their custom and courtesies, dude. You To this day, I still hold the door open for people and let people walk in front of me. I'll stop
oh
at it.
yeah,
I'll let people go in front of me. Go ahead.
100%. Yeah, yeah. What
And
you
I'll
got
put a
two
smile
arms?
on
I
their face,
got
like, "Oh my
neither.
God, this guy's letting me go first. He was here first, but he's letting me. Oh, geez. Like, nah,
Yeah,
dude, I'm not in a
yeah,
hurry, man. Everybody's in a hurry.
yeah. 100%. I agree.
But
But yeah,
therapy
man, we
has helped, dog. Therapy's helped, and that's one thing I don't agree with, and that's definitely got to be uh, an episode. We'll bring a therapist in here
Oh,
and we'll talk with a therapist type deal. I got a couple buddies who are therapists,
yeah,
so
yeah, 100%. I agree. I mean, hey, I doubt you. We reach anybody in the South, but maybe. I mean, if you reach one, that's better than none. I mean, one life saved is better than none. 100%.
right. And
But
yeah,
we're coming up on our time here.
yes, sir. We got about
So
5 minutes.
yep. If you got anything you want to share or any kind of organization that might help out your way, if you want to throw it out there.
All right, so I want to talk about United States Rescue real quick. That's my nonprofit with some of my buddies from the vet center. Uh, we have a Discord, and I'll put the link in the description or in a comment or something. It's pretty much like a little hangout area, bar area, pretty much for people who play video games because you got a lot of people who don't socialize or make friends out in the real world. So this is just like a virtual community where we can, play Call of Duty, Fortnite, Apex, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Wii, whatever you could think about. It's pretty much hangout area in the Discord. Uh, we do like raffles and stuff like that. But that's just a side thing of the nonprofit. What the nonprofit does is United States Rescue is we do a little bit of everything. Like we did the outreach for the homeless, but we're trying to search and rescue of veterans in need. We're gonna come up with this battle buddy system where if my wife sees that I'm down, she can call and be like, hey, can you guys send somebody out to just come and sit and talk? Once you start talking, we have that common ground military. You go talk military with these guys because it is hard to transition. Just like with you, I can talk my military stuff because I've been talking my military stuff with you since I've known you, and I've known you a long time now, bro. So
Yeah,
you know a little
that's it.
more than civilians, because you got to play with me and my army buddies, and you heard how our stories and we talk, and you know, so it's different
Yeah.
for you. But there's people out there who don't even know a veteran. You know what I mean? I've met people and been like, dude, you're the first veteran I've ever met. You're cool as fuck. But the nonprofit is to try to stop veteran suicide, and you need resources, or you're down in the dumps financially, anything. We want to push you towards
If
our
you need some,
partners and keep
hey,
counting with you. Just like keep a rapport with you. Like, hey man, you need anything? Pretty much, we want to just be like, when I was a non-commissioned officer in the military, when I was a new non-commissioned officer as a sergeant, when I'm a new sergeant, I'm the and I got my chief in front of me, he's a staff sergeant, he's higher ranking than me, and then a sergeant first class who outranks him. I'm the lowest non-commissioned officer, so I'm the, hey sergeant, go do this. Hey sergeant, go do that. Hey sergeant, get a crew to go do that. I'm the supervisor. So
right.
what pretty much what we're gonna do is have these resources, know where these resources are, and we're just gonna guide you along the way, hold your hand. As a new non-commissioned officer, my job was to hold this private or this specialist or this new Joe, new soldier. My job is to walk him down and show him where the hospital's at. My job is to show him where the defect so he can eat. This is where you're gonna go to do your paperwork. My job is, we got a down soldier taking a knee. So the nonprofit is what we're gonna do is pretty much just hold your hand and guide you. And if you just need to talk, then we're here to talk. If you need some resources, let's find you the resources. Let's go. Let's get you the help you need. You need to get your VA money up. Okay, well, come on. We can set you up with the VBA or whatever and get you, acquainted. One more thing. I know
Pretty
we're
much
gonna hit this hour mark, but I do want to let people know that people who are watching this, we are gonna do a little doc series where I will be bringing in people from June 16th, Iraq attack in 2011. We took about 51 casualties, and
You gotta you gotta prepare me for that one.
yeah. Well,
We're gonna have to talk
you're gonna
about
meet all these people, dude. So it's gonna, you know, I'm gonna bring all these people in so they could tell their side of the story, and I just want everybody to hear, what little
it. Right.
pieces here and there where so you can see a
Yeah.
big
How
picture.
everything unfolded, what happened, where they was
Right.
going down. All right. Well, Tipo.
But all right, I would like to thank
I get.
everybody for stopping by, hanging out with us. I'm Zach,
I'm Trip.
and we'll see
We'll
you
holler
guys
at
on the
y'all on
next
the
one.
next one.
Yep. Stay humbled.